This is an education right here. It's just murky gray mud water. You definitely see it. It's just mixing air. And you lads. And I have an early day tomorrow, so if the rule is actually bullshit, I am just a bandwagon rider living purely on a desire for validation. I'll drop the title for Chapter 2. Because compromise has a high chance of just becoming a mixture of it. Listen up, degenerate style. Your op was out here observing the random normies on the net today, and a thought hit me. I'll give it to you straight. Thread title: Tragic News. My neutral and mature opinion was actually just being brain dead. That's the one. You browse the net, you definitely see it. The whole neutrality appeal that's supposedly a virtue of harmony-loving Japanese people. But you know what? That both sides are bad mentality is the ultimate form of being brain dead. Are you lads also just brushing things off as both sides and feeling satisfied? Those words you say thinking you're smart, that's just your headcanon, isn't it? It's just your brain shutting down. I'm gonna dumb it down to a middle school level so even we can understand it. So listen up closely, even if you've got just one earbud in. Anyway, before we get into the meat of it, I'll lay out the structure of what I'm gonna talk about. For you clueless goobers who can't read long text, I'm doing you a solid and breaking it into 4 chapters instead of a too long. Didn't read. Chapter 1. The Fate of the Wannabe Sage. Chapter 2. The Trap of the Compromise and Mixing Poison. Chapter 3. True Strength is Acknowledging Facts. Chapter 4. 8. We're done here. We're going with this flow. Alright, let's kick it off with Chapter 1. The Fate of the Wannabe Sage. This is going to be on the test, so pay attention. You look at SNS or message boards, and they're always there. Chat A's out here dropping numbers, logically cornering the other guy like, look at this data. This makes no sense, no matter how you look at it. Chad B is arguing back. Face beat red going, no. My intuition says it's absolutely not wrong. Laughing my ass off, he's seething. Then along comes Chad C in a squeaky falsetto. He butts in like, now let's not get heated, you two. Both sides have a point. So let's compromise and find a middle ground. What the fuck? Nani? Oh, who is this guy? Is he a total degenerate? From Chad A's perspective, why the hell should he compromise with Chad B, whose only backup is source? Just trust me, bro. But Chad C posts that with a smug face, looking at his phone screen, probably basking in his own glory like, I just handled that so maturely and calmed things down. Yikes. I literally let out a weird noise. In his own head, he probably thinks he's a peacemaker stopping the conflict, a literal saint who can look at things objectively. But to everyone else, it's just a brain-dead normie scattering trash in a hellish situation. Did you just say, but if it ends peacefully, ain't that for the best? Press X to doubt. You just confirmed you're uneducated with that statement. That kind of sunshine and rainbows thinking is the problem. When one side is logically wrong, taking the middle and saying both sides are bad is the biggest insult to the side that's actually right. Anyone who thinks you can just treat everything like a mutual fault to smooth things over, I'm dead. It's hilarious. Humans only see what they want to see. Those guys turn away from facts and abuse the neutral position just to make themselves feel good. Thinking you're smart doing that is just beyond saving. 8. Topic closed. Moving on. I'll drop the title for Chapter 2. Chapter 2. The Trap of the Compromise and Mixing Poison. Why is being neutral so bad in the first place? There is a deep reason for it. Let me bring in some authority here. Even the traditional logic side calls this the fallacy of the golden mean or false compromise and points it out clearly as a mistake. Take note of this. Even from the standpoint of traditional logic, when there are polar opposite opinions, assuming the claim in the middle is always the correct solution, regardless of evidence or grounds, is a straight-up mistake. It's like this. Picture it. Right in front of you, there's an extremely filthy swamp with sludge floating around, mosquito larvae swarming everywhere, giving off this sharp, rotting stench. On the other side, you've got this beautiful emerald green pool with a state-of-the-art filtration system, properly chlorinated, clear all the way to the bottom. When the argument is about which water you want to get into, normally it's 100 to 0. The clean pool is the only choice, right? But for some reason, the wannabe neutral Chad C goes like this. Picking just one side would cause friction. Both are extreme opinions. Therefore, let's mix half of both waters and get in together. That is what we call fairness, he says with a smug face. Bro, is that mixed water gonna be clean? The moment a single drop of sludge juice gets in, it's just murky gray mud water. And he calls that the true solution, smiling and throwing up a peace sign in the mud water. Yikes! Massive oof. Absolute madness. Arguments are exactly like this. Mixing the right answer and the wrong answer to take the middle is just mixing errors. To use a baseball analogy, it's like a game where you're getting absolutely destroyed 28 to 3 and saying, let's compromise and call it a 15 to 15 tie. Let's use a more relatable example for corporate wage slaves like us. Say there's a company meeting, and they're arguing over whether the fine for a certain rule violation should be 100,000 yen or 0 yen. One faction is like, it's a rule. The penalty should be heavy. 100 grand. The other side is like, no, the rule itself is outdated and unreasonable to begin with. A fine is impossible. 0. Then, breaking the silence, our brain-dead neutral ghost appeared. Both opinions have a point. So, why don't we compromise and settle on 50,000 yen? That way we share the pain. Are you an idiot? If the rule is actually bullshit, 0 yen is the right answer. If the rule is valid, 100,000 yen is the right answer. The number 50,000 has 0 logical basis. From the perspective of the guy getting forced to pay the compromise 50 grand, it's just an unreasonable shakedown. Pretending to be neutral with pretty words, thinking saying fair resolution will smooth things over. This is just harboring a false sense of security like you solved it rationally, while just turning a blind eye to reality. It's literally mixing poison and truth. It might go against your intuition, but this is reality. Compromise is just poison. This is an education right here. All right, keeping the momentum going. Chapter 3. True strength is acknowledging facts. So, what should we do then? The answer is simple. Look at the facts. When an argument happens, this is the most important thing. Listen up. Slicing through the sunshine and rainbows atmosphere and stating clearly, compromise is not the goal. We should be arguing about what the facts show, or which claim has the stronger evidence. The guy who can say that gets the most girls and is an absolute unit. You get it? Getting fooled by the appearance of fairness and balance and ignoring the facts is peak brain-dead behavior, because compromise has a high chance of just becoming a mixture of errors from both sides. Let's be real. You degenerates are probably listening to this while messing with your phones in bed at this hour, holed up in the toilet, or going brain-dead on your commuter train, right? You're probably tearing up thinking if I spit that kind of hard truth at work, I'm gonna get ostracized. Yeah, you've got a point. But hey, separate your emotions from the facts. Distinguish between what you can change and what you can't. If you keep making wrong compromises just to get by in the moment, the blade of logic you need to protect yourself when it really matters is gonna rust away. It's fine now, but you'll die later. If you've listened up to this point and agree, you're an absolute unit. For those of you still going, but being neutral causes the least friction. Just stay mad and get exploited for someone else's convenience for the rest of your life. Sudden plug right here, but since your op is out here giving you these painfully real talks that hit the gross core of things for free, if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. No, seriously, when people say my views are dead and there's no momentum, my soul literally died. I'm just a bandwagon rider living purely on a desire for validation. So read the room and press the button. Numbers don't lie. The fact of your subscriptions is the only thing that's gonna save me. All right, got sidetracked. Let's bring it back. Actually, we're already done. Time for the Chapter 4 title. Chapter 4. 8. We're done here. Bottom line, you lads. And I have an early day tomorrow, so we gotta sleep. No point loitering around in this ghost town of a channel. Well, you guys go do your best playing pretend neutral at your company or school tomorrow, sipping on that watered down mud water. Not that it has anything to do with me, though. Man, I talked way too much to myself again today. I bashed neutrality super hard early on, but I flip-flopped so hard, I thought I was gonna wreck my shoulder. But it was fun. One last thing. Next time I'm gonna break down Sure Ray. Anyway, that's that. Dead arm arrival.